this is Natalia on Luxury with Natalia. I'm delighted to be on board a special boat today with the skipper, Norbert of Innovation Yachts.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Not too bad, nice to meet you, and yeah, welcome to all the visitors.
Thank you for having us on board, and tell me a bit more, what is going on here? In a couple of weeks, something very, very big is going to happen.
Yeah, we are on board of a very special vessel, which is really unique. It is the first Open 60 racing boat, which is built out of volcanic fiber, which we started to develop with our company Innovation Yachts 10 years ago. And the reason why it's built out of volcanic fiber is, first of all, because it's a really new, not very common material, which we want to bring in the nautical market, because it has many attitudes which are really performed for nautical applications. And the second thing is, I'm on the way to try a world record attempt, which was never done before. I tried to sail non-stop from Les Sables through the Northwest Passage, then down the Pacific around Cape Horn, and then a loop around Antarctica, including visiting Antarctic waters, and back to Les Sables. And this under the rules of the IMOCA class. That means no assistance and non-stop. And if you see it, it will be around 34 to 36,000 nautical miles. And if it happens well, and if everything goes well, it will be the first time ever that a sailor is able to sail non-stop through all oceans, means Pacific, Indic, Atlantic, Arctic and Antarctic Ocean. And of course, for our product, it will be the absolutely confirmation of quality and long-lasting quality especially. And finally, this boat is not only sustainable, it's fully recyclable. That means we also developed the concept where you can recycle, buy back your material. Like if you get the old used glass back in your company, you produce new building materials with at least the same performance, and you can use the material again for a second life cycle or a third one.
That's incredible. And how come nobody's thought about this before? I think you've been in this for 10 years now, innovating.
Yeah, I mean, we was, first of all, we was there in three different names. We was there as the FIPOFIX company. That was when we started development together with the Koch group in 2009. Then after they won the Globe 2009, we, my wife and I, developed a company called Yacht Construction Consulting, where we started really to use our knowledge and experience to start with custom built boats up to, in the meantime, 91 feet. And of course, then when we saw that this volcanic fiber attempt, this development looks really successful, we founded Innovation Yachts and really started to get clients for small series. But it's like everything in life, if you come up with something new, you are not always welcome to everybody from the first moment. So it means it needs a lot of work and a lot of argumentation, and of course also of prototype building and really demonstrating quality and functionality.
It's impressive. And here we are in Les Sables, and this is where it all happened, the magic of the design, the construction, the naval architecture as well. So it's all in-house, is that right?
That is the next thing that we say. In the past, when shipyards to yacht building was founded, it was more or less normal that the guys which found these companies were famous sailors or really well-known architects, and they started to produce yachts. And this is something what is a little bit lost in the industry in the last, let me say, 20 years. And what we said is, if we now come up with something new on a high-end quality level, we want also to go back that the client can say, okay, the client has one partner, and that is the shipyard. And the shipyard is responsible that the design, the architecture, the production, also the warranty, whatever comes up during a boat life is done in-house at the company which finally produced the product. And therefore we really went back to that. We have our own designers and architects, and even that we are still now a small company.
Small, but also innovative and award-winning, because you scooped up an award thanks to Marion. Tell us a bit more about that. Yeah,
we started a project for a 91-footer, but because of the North African spring, one of our partners got bankrupt, and so we was not able to this huge yacht and really famous and nice yacht with volcanic fiber. We switched to aluminium. But anyway, Marion and our company got the design award for boats under 100 feet, between 80 and 100 to be precise. And based on that success, we also developed the design for a 100-footer. But this one, when we hopes to start the first project next year, will be definitively out of volcanic fiber.
Wonderful. And also your parkour is quite exceptional because you've started and seen it all, let's say, from the bottom up. And what kind of preparations does it take to undertake such an amazing adventure that's awaiting you coming up?
I think first of all, you have to be realistically I mean, you have to focus on goals, of course, which are big, which are complicated, far away. But at the same time, on the way to reach your goals, you have to accept the signs of the time, the signs of the moment. You have also be really a realistic person, analyze things which happens, good things and bad things, and then try to modify your acting, develop your knowledge and your know-how, and therefore step by step come closer to your finish line. And I think for the Antarctic Lab project, what we're talking about, that's the absolutely key. You can be prepared for everything, but then when you maybe reach South Greenland and go up to Baffin Bay and come in the icy waters, you have to deal every day with something what you maybe not expected. And maybe it's nice and better as you thought, but from my experience, there are also days which are much more worse as you thought. And then, yeah, your personality, your know-how, and of course also your mental stability is forced to keep on going and find solutions.
Fantastic. Is that the northern spirit in you?
A little bit, yeah, I think. But you know, to be honest, since a boy, I always tried to do things where people said it's not possible. And it doesn't matter if it was on the farm of my parents to build a wooden tree house, you know, or then later on in my business. And I think this attitude, this mentality is also necessary to look for new borders, to stretch borders. Because if you always just ask somebody which can't imagine what is possible, and if this guy or this woman says no, you stop all your ideas and your visions, you will never be somebody which pushes borders. So you have to think about things. There must be a moment where you say, I am sure it is possible, and then you have to go and then you have to accept also that you fail and you have to try it again. And of course, sometimes there are moments where I say, okay, at the moment, at this time, with my knowledge, it's not possible to do it. And that is also what you have to accept and postpone your ideas, and maybe a few years later it works.
Yeah, sure. And also, this is not your first trial. This is a second or third time.
This the third one, yeah.
Third time, yeah.
Because that's a typical thing. After the first departure, I realized that really the boat was built with passion and really very completed, but there was details which was not acceptable for icy waters. And then last year, I mean, in stormy weather off the island, I personally did really a mistake and broke one of my forestays and lost the sail. And as we all know, the reason why till today nobody sailed through the Northwest Passage is because it's a very light wind area. You need all the performance to keep on going. So if you lose, let me say, 20% of your sails 4,000 miles away, you must not keep on going. You have to do the hard decision, go back, repair, adjust, optimize, and now this year we will see if it was successful.
And I wish you all the best of luck for that. So this is no Vendée Globe, this is serious stuff going on.
Yeah, I said to the guys here in Les Sables, which I know all very well, that maybe this is the Vendée Globe of the future, because it would be the real round the world through all oceans. But I think at the moment we are far away, because also the type of IMOCA 60 with the foils and these flying racing boats, they are not really designed to go in icy waters. And therefore, if we would think about that, we would also have to think about to bring a design on the market which is really as safe as possible for this kind of action.
Amazing. amazing. And so when you're going on your adventure, if somebody wants to follow you, see the action, how do we get in touch with you?
You can join us on the Innovation Yard homepage or directly on antarcticlab.com. There is a race tracker which shows you during the day, every time, the precise position of the boat, weather conditions, some commentaries, pictures, whatever. And then, of course, there are 2 more tracking systems, one for blockchain, which is also online on our homepage, and one from the World Speed Sailing Association, what you cannot follow directly because that's a black box which collects every 300 meters the position to be sure that nobody was cheating.
Yes, of course, because this is real stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think even in these days where everybody talks about fake news and manipulation, it's really important, if you do a project like that you also agree to have multiple options to demonstrate and verify that it's a right thing what you have done, and not just some made-ups. Exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that is great news, and we hope to see you then back when, in February it is?
If everything goes as planned, end of January, mid of February next year, together with the Vendée Globe fleet, which starts in November. I should be back in Les Sables and then see what's going on.
Fantastic. I'm so honored to have had this chance to talk to you, Norbert, and wish you all the best on this amazing adventure. Thanks
a lot. And also thank you to all the visitors on YouTube.
Thanks everyone for watching. This was another episode on Luxury with Natalia. Keep following and looking and liking, and more episodes coming soon. Thanks. Bye.